Let me start with some general information on economic growth. Economic growth is an increase in the amount of production of economic goods and services over a specific period. Throughout the decades, economic growth has remained a crucial consideration for all countries, especially developing countries. Keeping aside the long history, economic development of Asian countries has passed through many phases. However, in 2019, the world is shocked by COVID-19 virus. During this pandemic, every country and sector are experiencing downturns and it gives impact to economic growth. This economic contraction will give a huge effect to the macroeconomic variables. So the main purpose of this research is to determine the impact of macroeconomic variables on GDP growth in certain Asian countries, specifically in China. So this study will be testing the significance of inflation rate, exchange rate, interest rate, foreign investment, and export towards GDP growth. Next, let's move on to the problem statement. Forecast by the IMF, China expects a decline in GDP growth to 1.85% in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic and GDP growth of 8.25% in 2021. For China, the baseline forecast envisions a sharp slowdown of growth to 1.6% this year, which will mark the slowest expansion since 1976. Our study is to evaluate the relationship between macroeconomic indicators such as inflation, interest rate, FDI, exchange rate, export, and economic growth in China. Research is to focus on the macroeconomic variables affecting economic growth in Asia country. Next, our research tends to study macroeconomic variables that influence economic growth to create a new study paper that will benefit several participants. There are some limitations that will impact our study's outcome, including lack of accessibility and accurate data. Next, most of the articles available on the internet are not easily accessible and some articles have to be paid in order to access, including the articles which are related to our study. Lastly, we were only allowed to use the timeline for the last 5 years for our literature review, which is from 2015-2020, to catch relationship between dependent variable and independent variables. Next, literature review. Let's start with the theory used in this research. First is Keynesian theory. Keynesian theory said that the rise in the cost of production is the cause for inflation, particularly when the additional cost of goods and services are included in price. Second, Irving Fisher theory. Fisher equation is a concept describing the relationship between nominal and real interest rate. The third one is endogenous growth theory. This theory of endogenous growth is the concept that economic growth is due to the reasons that are internal to the economy and not external. So the concept of the theory is that innovation, knowledge, and human capital improvement lead to the increase of productivity, which has positive impact on the economic outlook. The fourth one is export-based theory. So the key concept of this theory is to focus on the importance of export industry in explaining the geographical economic development through export sales. And lastly, purchasing power parity theory. It is the price measurement in various countries that uses the price of particular goods to compare the absolute purchasing power of the currency of the countries. Now, the conclusion in China for each of the IV. We will start with the inflation. So, the first one, at the 2020 report on the impact of foreign direct investment and inflation on economic growth used the unit root test and regression analysis to estimate the study's objective. So, the result shows that inflation has had a negative effect on economic growth in 4 countries with the exception of Egypt. On the other hand, in the study of the impact of inflation on economic growth, the case of Eurozone, Durguti, and Kruzui 2019 claimed that inflation rate was statistically significant and has a positive impact on economic growth, with a 99.9% confidence level. The result of the study supported its literature review, in which the economy of Azerbaijan has a non-linear relationship between inflation and economic growth. Next, interest rate. According to a study conducted by Lee and Werner, 2018, an empirical examination of the relationship between interest rate and nominal GDP growth in the US, UK, Germany, and Japan used Granger causality tests also showed a positive correlation between long-term and short-term interest rate economic growth as they move in the same direction. However, according to Shaukat 2019, the interest rate between financial and economic structuralism is highly debated following the global crisis. This study looked at the mechanism by which the real interest rate has a negative impact on economic growth. Foreign direct investment. There is a positive relationship between FDI and economic growth on the basis of a study by Sarnbrowski 2020. As a result, the presence of a positive contribution from FDI to economic growth has been found to be dependent on their mutual influence on domestic direct investment as well as on the form of investment. However, a study by Simeonescu 2016 found that there is a negative correlation between economic growth and FDI in some countries by using the Bayesian analysis based on the time series. Exchange rate. A study conducted by J.O. Adeniran, S.A. Yusuf, A.A. Olatoke 2014, where they studied the impact of the exchange rate on Nigerian economic growth. It was found from the empirical analysis of the study that the exchange rate is positively related to the growth of the output. However, a study by Bargulil, Ben Salha, and Zamami 2018 found that by using the generalized moment methods, there is a negative relationship between economic growth and exchange rate. Let's move on to the export. The study proved by Kaladzi and Chamberlain 2020 state that there is a positive relationship between export and economic growth in the UAE from 1975 to 2012 from the study titled Merchandise Export and Economic Growth Multivariate Time Series Analysis for the UAE. In addition, according to Gokmenoglu, Sehnaiz, and Taspinar 2015 concluded that there is a positive relationship between export and economic growth in the long run. Next, methodology. So the dependent variables, the variable is economic growth and the proxy is gross domestic product, and we get all the data from the World Bank source. Next is independent variables. The first one is inflation rate and the proxy is consumer price index CPI. The second one is interest rate and the proxy is real interest rate. The third one is foreign investment and the proxy is FDI net inflows. The fourth one is exchange rate and the proxy is official exchange rate. And the last one is export and the proxy is export of goods and services. The data sources for all of the IV is from the World Bank. These are the findings and analysis in China that we gained from the software called eViews. First, for the variance inflection factor, we have to rerun the VIF procedure, and after we have done rerun the test, we accept this independent variable since all the scores will be lower than 5. China is 1.05 and it does not fall within the range of 1.5 to 2.5. Hence, it requires us to rerun a serial correlation test at second order using the Buisch-Godfrey test for corrections. And the score is 1.49 equals to 1.5 and therefore we have enough evidence to reject the H-null or Chakubera, and the p-value is 0.19. The score above 0.10, which is significant. Thus, we have enough evidence to reject the H-null. We may conclude that our residuals are normally distributed. Next, for ordinary least squared, as you can see, only two of the independent variables were significant, which are exchange rate and inflation. So, interest rate and export were insignificant as the p-value above than 5% and 10%. The exact R-square is 14.63% of the variation in DV can be explained by exchange rate and inflation. And lastly, the p-value of the F statistic is 9.3%, which means that it is significant and we have enough evidence to reject the H-null. We may conclude that there is a significant relationship between at least one of the macroeconomic variables with economic growth. Next, we move on to the implication of the study. There's 5 implications. We'll start with the first one, significant to central bank as a policymaker. So, implication of our research to a policymaker is that it will help them in decision making and stabilize the economy in the country. Thus, the finding of the study can give and provide the central bank with valuable piece of findings to recognize problems and make decision making to ensure the stability of the national economy. Next, significant to existing and potential investor. So the impact of our research on the current and potential investor is that it can give the investor an early perspective on the management of the investment strategy. The third one is significance to future research. The findings of this research can also be used by the future researchers in many aspects. Future researchers can adopt or apply the same model in testing the correlation between variables in order to have a clear observation on desired studies. The fourth one is significance to public relations. Research set the basis for a strategy for public relations. Public relations experts are able to judge current organizational effort in the baseline process of research and use market expertise to provide guidance and guide the strategy. And lastly, significant to economies. Research gives the fundamental to about all administration strategies in our economic framework. Economists conduct research, gather and analyze data, monitor economic conditions, and develop predictions on a wide range of issues. Economists develop strategy for collecting the data they need. So, in conclusion, from the findings and analysis, only 2 of the IV were found to be significant in China, which are inflation and exchange rate. So, the first one is inflation. From the findings, it is shown that inflation has significant impact on economic growth of China in a very weak form and could be insignificant if the number of observations is added. For the recommendation, China can sustain growth even in the period of inflation for the tested period. One of the fruitful policies which could be formulated by the Chinese government is the inflation targeting strategy. Next, exchange rate. After the data has been run, the result shows that China is found to be significant with dependent variables. The coefficient result shows that the exchange rate has positive correlation with economic growth in China. For the recommendation for China, in an effort to hold the value of the yuan comparatively low, the government has to buy foreign currency through trade surplus and investment. Another recommendation is that by moving to a currency basket. A currency basket is commonly used to minimize the risk of currency fluctuation, meaning that the stability of the China's overall effective exchange rate would be enhanced. Lastly, recommendation for future research. In future research, researchers can use monthly data instead of annual data. The reason for this is that to increase the number of observations and can produce more accurate and consistent data. Researchers may also start a research on the qualitative factors that influence economic growth, rather than just quantitative factors. Last but not least, researchers may venture into different set of countries in other regions, such as European countries, in an attempt to find more consistency regarding the result for this topic. With that, that's all from our presentations today. Thank you.